So, hi YouTube family. I think it's my fourth or fifth video on this channel. I had a channel before, but unfortunately I deleted the channel. But I'm restarting it, and hopefully it's getting a little more busy in here, you know, more people, more subscribers. If you like my readings, share, like, subscribe, absolutely welcome. So I'm doing the Celtic cross today. The center is the devil. Okay, the crossing energy. By the way, we had a moon in Aquarius yesterday. Full moon in Aquarius, give and take, 6 of Pentacles. The foundation is betrayal, or it's a little not so clear cut. 7 of Swords. Recent past, there's the Chariot. So yeah, there's the Queen of Swords. It's a beautiful energy in this combination, absolutely. So freeing yourself. There's the Butterfly Crown, the Hierophant on your crown. So you're learning something in dealing with the devil. There's the Ace of Wands, Passion, King of Wands, very good. Mastership of this passion. The Knight of Wands, going forth with that passion. There's the Page of Cups. Don't forget your feelings. Waking up, Judgment at the bottom of the deck. So this the devil in the center, right? Blue moon in Aquarius. So Aquarius is a little chaotic. Aquarius is all about water energy. And it's not so neat and tidy always, right? We're coming in contact, we're going through a time, generally speaking, in which we are very much confronted with our shadow side. And the question is, are we dealing with our shadow side? Okay, there's one, not too many cards. How are we dealing with our shadow aspect? That's the devil. And here's the clarifier. Judgment again. So the devil is trying to wake you up to something that we usually try to ignore. Okay. Oh, little children crying. Okay. So usually we try to ignore our shadow aspect. That's what we do. We always want to be the good guy. We want to be the knight in shiny armor, things like that. We want to make everything right. But there's the 4 of Swords clarifying the 6 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Swords is clarified by the 10 of Swords, which is very good. Because this sneaky business that you're dealing with is coming to an end. There's the Queen of Swords also. The Fool card and the Chariot. So you're going towards a new beginning. In Temperance, that's the Queen of Swords clarify, and the Hierophant on top of it. Very fast. You're arriving there quickly. Let's just do the clarifiers. There's the Page of Cups, and it ends with the Page of Cups. An unexpected talent, you know? Something that you either did not expect, or did you neglect something? There's a little fish coming out of this cup, you know? And that's where it ends, and it has something to do with your passion and the potential of your passion. So passion, one's energy, is fire energy, usually connected to the things that we try to hide, you know, passion, sexuality, of course. There's a lot of guilt, fear, shame surrounded with sexuality, usually, certainly in the Western tradition, and the devil in the center. So just, maybe it's about, but let's not be too hasty. There's the 9 of Cups, clarifying the King of Wands, and 8 of Pentacles, clarifying the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Cups is clarified by the Queen of Wands, okay? So 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So you're waking up to good times. And underneath that is 10 of Wands and the High Priestess. So you're waking up from what? From hiding from your shadow, I would say. Center is the Devil card, clarified by Judgment. And usually it is ourself. We are judging ourselves, right? This devilish toxic energy can only play us if we are not okay with our shadow side, you know? If we hide our shadow side, it is, you know, shoved under the rug, basically. You know, we try to negate the shadow, right? That's the toxic aspect. And if we negate our own shadow, we attract people. It's kind of like the law of attraction, right? They just kind of smell that there's a shadow somewhere, and we feel ashamed and guilty and afraid about it. And if this shadow aspect is there, you're in this frequency of guilt, fear, shame, and that frequency of guilt, fear, shame is attracting people who are just very talented in exploiting that, right? That could be the 7 of Swords energy. That could be the narcissist of the tarot deck, right? So you're attracting narcissists if you are trying to negate your shadow, right? And there's so much Wands energy. There's Cups energy too, but very, you know, much Wands energy. The Ace of Wands, the King of Wands, and even the Knight of Wands. So you are mastering your fire aspect, your passion, and could also be connected to sexuality. Fire energy, Wands energy is definitively sexual energy, and the Devil in the center, guilt, fear, shame, might be connected. Usually there is a connection, usually. So what I'm trying to tell you is give and take, you know? If you send out frequencies of guilt, fear, shame, of I am not enough, I don't respect myself, in that shadow aspect, you know, you are getting someone or attracting someone who's trying to exploit that. So I'm not telling you to... It's a balanced approach, you know? You free yourself. The Queen of Swords, right? The Queen of Swords, she has a little shackle here, and she has freed herself with her sword, with her mind, with her temperance, you know? So very balanced, reasonable steps. And there's the Knight of Swords clarifying the Hierophant. So you're turning this devilish energy, this one-sidedness. The devil is always one-sided. The devil has always 2 horns, but the devil is playing you because you try to negate an aspect of yourself that is just there. And that's how he, you know, entangles you. This energy, this narcissist, whatever you're dealing with, toxic people, you know, left and right, they're everywhere. But they can only play you if you are afraid, ashamed, and feel guilty. Guilt, fear, shame is a big, big topic. As I said, Wands energy everywhere, usually connected to passion or sexuality. And passion is whatever you do that you're willing to suffer for. You know, if you have a lust for power, for example, you are willing to sacrifice, I don't know, happy life or family, whatever, you know. There's a willingness to suffer for something that is what passion is all about. And passion is a very fiery thing, of course, just like sexuality. And it's not bad. It just needs a balanced approach with the temperance card, and never allow your passion to run the show alone. It needs to be balanced with the water aspect, that's definitively here with the 9 of Cups, you know, and the Queen of Wands is clarifying the Page of Cups. It's all about the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is about balance and wisdom and applying wisdom in your actions every day, in your daily habits. So you're waking up to the realization that you are good enough and that you need to make peace with yourself and reintegrate these negated aspects of yourself. Whatever you're afraid about, whatever you're ashamed about, whatever you feel guilty about, have a good look at it. And usually, if you really committed some sort of really bad crime or something, but even you can even deal with that, right? Just don't negate it. Just don't push it away. But if you're resonating with this channel, chances are you're okay. You're good enough. You're wonderful just the way you are, right? It's most of the time, but we are kind of spoon-fed with guilt, fear, and shame through our adolescence and through our entire socialization, right? So what is it that makes you ashamed? What is it that makes you afraid? What is it that makes you feel guilty? Never accept disrespect. I'm always putting a few quotes here. Never accept disrespect. So there's a systemic disrespect, if you live in a country where you can't be who you are, but never accept disrespect. Never make it your own. Never disrespect yourself. Never explain or negotiate who you are, right? You just have a divine right to be here. And we're all human beings. We're not perfect. So if we feel ashamed, if we feel guilty, if we feel afraid, we usually accept disrespect because we kind of think we deserve it, right? Because of all that guilt, fear, shame stuff. But yeah, be aware of the difference between a reaction and a response, The Queen of Swords is responding. She's not reacting, She thinks about stuff and she is responding to it if she chooses to do so. This guy here is this guy and this energy, obviously, is trying to get a reaction out of you, And if you're in this guilt, fear, shame mode, you're usually in a very reactive mode. So try to relax. I know it's a hard time for relaxation and raising your frequency, but it's exactly what we have to do. And we do it through temperance and to reason. That's the Queen of Swords. And to not negating our passion or our sexuality. Usually it's connected to that too. So the shadow aspects of ourselves, right? Don't push them away. Be smart about it. Be reasonable about it. And don't try to shove them under the rug. Because under the rug or in that dark corner somewhere in your apartment or your home, that's where someone might find it. Or this energy might attract someone like the Seven of Swords, the narcissist of the tarot deck. And you get give and take, what you send out in frequency is usually what you get back. So It's hard, I know. It's not easy. But try to establish a practice. Oh yeah, and here's a good one. Observe what you dislike in others. Seek those traits in yourself. Unlearn them. This is how you nurture self-love. I say this again. Observe what you dislike in others, right? Seek those traits within yourself, if they are there, and then try to unlearn them within yourself. This is how you nurture self-love. So you're not fighting something in the outside. You're always asking yourself, why is this coming towards me? And is there something within me that is responding to it or actually attracting it? So you can't change other people, you can only change yourself. That's the message here. And if you're fighting against windmills, you can fight forever. You can spend your life fighting the devil or the narcissist or whatever it is toxic in your life. Ultimately, you have to make a change within yourself, and that is the Judgment card. And that is also the Ten of Wands. You know, you're standing your ground. There's the King of Pentacles underneath and Strength too. So it's ending well. There is, you're rediscovering love. And this channel, Truth Told by Love, I call it Truth Told by Love. My first channel was called Philautia. Philautia is the concept of self-love. And self-love means that you have to love all of it, all of yourself. Not just the lovey-dovey, nice and shiny, bright spots, right? But also the not so bright spots, you know, the areas where you failed, where you were wrong, where you, I don't know, made a mistake. As long as you learn from it, or as long as you are learning from it, that's okay. We're human beings. We're here because we're not perfect, right? We have something to learn. And if you think about elementary school, right? So you're going into 3rd grade or whatever. You can give, I mean, everybody knows everybody who passed 3rd grade knows everything there is to know in 3rd grade, right? So the 3rd grade is not a mystery. So we have all the solutions for all the tests and all the, problems that are presented within 3rd grade, elementary school, right? We know all about 3rd grade and how to solve all the problems in 3rd grade. But you can't give a new 3rd grader all the test results, right? Because then they wouldn't learn anything. So they have to go into this and make their mistakes and learn from them. That's how we grow and learn. So this devilish energy, this narcissist of the tarot deck with the 7 of Swords here, heavy energies, right? But do not try to fight it, because you can't fight these energies, and you can't fight these energies in the external. You have to solve it in the internal, and usually you do this through self-love. That's the most important aspect of it all. And you're reintegrating whatever you try to negate and separate from your own self. And again, here in this reading, we are definitively connected to fire energy. There's sexuality. I mean, just look at that Ace of Wands, right? But again, you are mastering this. There's the King of Wands, right? Clarified by the 9 of Cups, so very happy approach to it. So don't try to prove anything. Just go for happiness, you know? You don't need to solve all the problems in 3rd grade. You don't need to present every 3rd grader with all the solutions for the 3rd grade. You don't have to solve everything, you know? You just have to, you have to be happy. That's what it's all about. Happiness. And if you're trying to solve the world or to fix the world in the outside, It's not going to happen. And this is what the devil, what the narcissist is trying to make you believe, that you have to, that there's an external enemy. The problem is somewhere else, the problem is not within you. The problem is somewhere over there, So fight these external things, right? Then you solve your problems. That's not how it works. So you solve your problems by making peace with yourself. The highest form is the neocortex is a garden. The neocortex is a garden. And the Hierophant is all about inner peace and cultivating that garden. So instead of fighting external windmills, right? Being Don Quixote and fighting windmills in the external, you making peace within yourself. With sexuality, with passion, right? And instead of, and this is a good combination, you can be passionate about stuff. Let's say it differently. You can, whatever it is that you're passionate about, you can do that to solve all the problems of third grade, or you can do that just for fun. And you're mastering your passion, your fire aspect, that which you are willing to suffer for, that is what you're mastering. And you're getting happiness by not suffering for it. And not suffering for your passion means that you're not so damn serious about it, right? That you're trying to, it's always this combination of the Ace of Wands with the Page of Cups, There's always fire and water coming together. That's how it ends. Queen of Wands, with the Page of Cups. So it starts with the King of Wands, where you firing your passion into the world and you're trying to solve all the problems of third grade, right? Very, very passionate approach, very fiery approach. It's going to lead to suffering, if you burn that much for it, right? And if you try to make all the problems disappear, right? Or solve all the problems. That's a very fiery aspect. Very King of Wands energy. Don't do this. Be happy. Enjoy what you're doing. Instead of taking it so damn serious, right? And you're taking a step back with your passions, right? And taking a step back with your passions from the King of Wands to the Queen of Wands means that you do it primarily because it's joyful. You're not trying to solve all the problems of third grade. You're just doing your thing and enjoy what it is that you're doing while you're doing it. The devil is trying to tell you, you have such a great idea. You have to solve all the problems of the world and you have to really go into and burn for it and suffer for it, and then it will be great. But that's what the devil or the narcissist of the tarot deck is telling you, and what I'm telling you, and what the Hierophant is telling you, and what the Queen of Swords and this quote, the neocortex is a garden, what all these aspects are telling you, this combination of, wands and balanced with water aspects, fire with water balanced. Take out the willingness to suffer and instead go for happiness, right? And waking up to something that you're doing and just do it because it makes you happy. Don't burn for it. Don't go for passion. Don't go into this trap believing that if you just suffer enough for something, it will be so great and you will solve all the problems. No, it's not going to work like that. That's devilish, narcissistic energy, one-sidedness, this idea that we're going to find the big solution for all the problems, not going to happen. And even if you had all the solutions for all the problems in 3rd grade, if you give a new 3rd grader all the solutions for the 3rd grade, he wouldn't even understand them because he's not ready. He needs to go through 3rd grade in his own way and find his own solutions. And finding his own solutions always means making your own mistakes. And making your own mistakes is necessary for finding the solutions. So there's nothing broken. It's just as it is. Accept the shadow aspect, you know? You need to make mistakes in order to learn out of them. You can't prevent others from making mistakes by giving them the solutions. And that idea of doing that or wanting to do that is creating suffering. Get rid of that and just do it for the joy of it. And that's where you arrive with your wisdom, with the Hierophant. The neocortex is a garden. Aim for happiness, go for happiness, right? And if you do so, you can still be a little passionate about it, of course. You know, there's still the fire aspect, but be passionate for yourself, right? And primarily make it about, look at this, right? Here it is primarily, right now, with the devilish energy and the narcissistic energy, it's primarily about fire aspect. Right? If I just suffer enough for something, I'm going to solve it. If I just fight my shadow aspect hard enough, I solve it. No, you don't. Take a step back. Make it not so much about passion. Make it about joy and happiness. And just do what you love to do. And we talked about sexuality. You know, I think if 2 grown-ups come together, or grown-ups come together in general, you know, grown-up, adults, consent, good intention, nobody gets hurt, everybody's aiming for happiness and joy, wonderful. So there's sexuality, there is passion. You can be passionate about writing or about drawing or about science or whatever it is that you're doing. Don't be too passionate. Be reasonable. The neocortex is a garden. And have this wisdom that you always need the balance between your light aspect and your shadow aspect. Don't try to negate it, you know? Always try to see both of these aspects and bring them closer together, right? And yeah, I guess that's all I got. I'm going to pull another card, one card here. Oh, I'm not even sure if I can pronounce this. Synchlotron. I don't know. I haven't pulled this card very often. What is this all about? Infinite possibility. Think outside the square beyond the limit of your thoughts. It is possible to think through your heart. Okay. Try it. Infinite possibilities exist inside you. There are ideas and creative solutions from beyond your physical reality. You can create all your heart desires. Feel the imaginative impulse transmitted from beyond space-time. There are words within worlds. There are worlds within worlds, and entire universes within a particle of light. Through this card you can see and randomly create. This is a card of joyful creation, you know? Not so much about fire, fire, fire. I need to solve all the problems of the world. I need to fix something. I need to fix myself. I need to redeem myself, blah, blah, blah. That's creating suffering because you're aiming too high. Aim a little lower and go for happiness. Joyful creation. All you wish to be can now be. Keep the greater good of all in mind and let there be love in all that you do. Let there be love in all that you do, and most of all, you need to love yourself And be yourself a friend, right? Don't try to run away from your shadow. Just freaking be who you are. Love yourself enough to be who you are, and you don't need to be perfect. Remember the pupil in 3rd grade. Even if you give him all or her all the solutions for all the tests in 3rd grade, she's not going to process that, right? You can't do this. It's not how it works. But make sure that this 3rd grade pupil has a lot of joy, right? Then she or he will learn everything he or she needs to learn, right? Joyful. Joyful, joyful. That's all I got. I hope it resonates with you. And if it does, share, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you so much. See you soon. Now, bye. Ciao.